Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals. I'm so excited to share something really special with you today. While I'm flipping through this journal, I want to tell you about an incredible creative community I've joined and some amazing opportunities that are available right now. Let me introduce you to Everything Art, founded by Kasia and Jamie Avery back in 2015. Kasia is an intuitive mixed media artist and teacher who had a transformative journey with art journaling, and Everything Art's mission is simple but powerful: to get as many people as possible to know and do art journaling. They create courses and offerings that help you discover your inner artist and supercharge your creativity through messy, free play and emotional art journaling. Everything Art wants you to enjoy the mixed media process wildly, enthusiastically and passionately, and to finally stop stressing about the outcome. I probably won't ever stop stressing, but maybe I can ease it a bit, right? Now, I'm personally taking part in one of their free offerings called Care December, and I'd love it if you join me. Care December is 15 days of mindful, intuitive, mixed media art journaling designed to help you slow down during the busiest month of the year. It starts on the 5th of December and is completely free and open to absolutely everyone. I'm going to be using this green book. It's The Uncollected British Butterflies, Moths and Beetles, and it was pretty much falling apart when I purchased it. So I've taken quite a few of the pages out as I wanted to keep them because they had some lovely butterfly images. These aren't so nice. So I am going to use some of them in the journal, but I'll obviously want to cover them up. But all I'm going to do is pull this apart. See, it's very fragile, so it doesn't take much. I don't think I actually need to cut it away. I think it will just come apart like that. So there's the block of pages, and I'm also going to take this out, and I will actually use a knife for that, very gently. Trying to make sure that I don't go through the spine. I think the spine will be okay for me because I'm not going to be putting too many pages in this book. The Care December is only on, well, it's 15 prompts, but that doesn't mean you've got to do 15 spreads. But I'll use that as a guide. So keep that because that'll be lovely collage fodder. And oh, that's what I wanted to show you, was this wonderful inside of the signature block, which is old paper. So isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so this is the book, and I am now going to strengthen the spine with some tape. So any sort of strength tape you could use. Packaging tape, paper packaging tape would work really nice on this, or masking tape. I'm going to use this surgical tape. So I'm hoping it will just blend itself a little bit into the background. Now I have no idea at this stage how I'm going to make the cover, what I'm going to do to it. Really no idea at all. I'm just going to make the body of the journal and then see how I get on. I would like to try and keep that, if I can, as it is. So I'm going to need to put some tape there. I think that will be okay. So let's cut this first. Here's what makes Care December so special. Each day, you'll receive a short, inspiring video prompt from Kasia and a time-lapse clip of an intuitive art journaling process. We'll be creating a junk journal together today, ready to fill it with mixed media art that expresses our artistic voice. But if you prefer, you can use a ready-made sketchbook, journal or notebook instead. It really doesn't matter what you use. I guess it's down to just turning up at your desk for a few days during December and giving yourself some freedom to explore. This year, K December has a green edition theme that ties all the prompts together and includes the 15 days of self-care through art journaling, following Kasia's intuitive approach, and it's a chance to slow down in December, reflect on seasonal changes and transformations, connect with nature and summarise your year in an uplifting way. If you're going to follow along, you'll learn about colour, its meaning and power. And the best part, no special supplies are needed. You can use whatever you already have at home. Now, while K December is perfect for dipping your toes into this style of art journaling, I also want to tell you about Everything Art's flagship course, Wonderlust 2026. This is their best-selling year-long online course in mixed media art, and it's back in its 11th year. Wonderlust is an absolute treasure trove of creativity. You get 48 weekly lessons throughout the year with 34 inspiring teachers plus your host Kasia Avery. The year is divided into 4 themed seasons: Roots and Wings, Paper Alchemy, Stories Unfolded and The Elements Within. Each season ends with a live stream hosted by Kasia to connect, reflect and celebrate your progress. The teaching lineup is truly incredible. You learn from world-class artists including Ray Missigman, Froyle Davis, Cassie Turner, Birgit Koopsen, Mary Brethshaw, Carolyn Doob, Alison Bomber, Jeannie Oliver and so many more. Each teacher brings their unique approach to help you uncover your own voice in the process. What I love about Wonderlust is that it helps you develop your personal style. You'll try a whole plethora of techniques with different teachers throughout the year, and then you can cherry pick the ones that you love. Your Wonderlust journal becomes not only a confident, but also a visual diary that you can flip through and take inspiration from. And here's something really exciting. This year isn't just about art journaling. You'll also create canvases, sculptures, assemblages, paper bunting and mixed media objects you'll want to display. Every project is exclusive to Wonderlust and made just for this course. You won't find these lessons anywhere else. All the lessons come with subtitles in 5 languages: English, German, Dutch, Spanish and French. And you get lifetime access with full downloads, so there's no rush and no pressure to finish the course. You also gain access to the Adventurers Circle, their private student community, where you can ask questions, share your work, find friends and know you're not creating alone. Nearly 30,000 students have joined Wonderlust since 2015 and many come back every year because it's never the same twice. When you join, you'll also have the chance to upgrade to Wonderlust Plus to checkout, which gives you 6 extra in-depth lessons and 9 inspiring bonuses. So I think 2 layers of that should be fine. We'll see how that goes. Even though I've done it really messy, just a little piece there really annoys me when it's hanging over, so I'm going to have to get it. Okay, so I really want to try and keep these pages if I can. And let's go and have a look at what pages I'm going to add to the journal. When I was doing the 100-day project, I made up some batches of different types of papers that I could use in signatures. So if I just grab one here, so I've got this little box, so it's got quite a few, as you can see there, quite a few examples. And all I did then was add different types of book pages with a view then to making them up with coffee dyed or tea dyed paper. So I've got some grungy coffee dyed paper here, and it's quite heavyweight. There's some 120 to probably 160 GSM and different weights there. So what I was going to do was use one of these. Now I'm actually making quite a small journal, and I'd say what I've got here actually is quite interesting. Is I've got one that I made where I just glued all the pieces together. I don't know if that would work in this actually. I don't know. It might do. I suppose. I mean, the pages don't have to be the same size as the journal cover for sure. I do like the different. Maybe I will use that. I think. Yes, I'll use that. And I can show you how to make this with the bits that I need to add in. So if I wanted to add in some coffee dye paper, so let's cut this in half. Move out a little bit. As you can see, I've got my cup of tea here, which is going cold. So this is my page that I want to add in, and all you would do is you'd go to where you want to add it in. So let's say I want to add it in here, and you can use any type of tape, washi tape, anything like that. And I've got some more surgical tape here. Just squeeze over here. It's got a bit of blue paint on it. And I've used paper strips, but you can just use anything that's sticky. And all you do is get your tape or your paper, anything you want, and pop that down on the first side like that. Then what you want to do then is fold over the page you're sticking it to, and then you'll have extra pages. So the beauty with this is, particularly for this type of project, is you can just keep on adding pages. So if you run out of pages, then you can just add some more. So I think that'll work quite well. And I'm pretty sure I should be able to go in the middle. So that looks like it's kind of middling. What I probably need to do is also add some tape there just to make it a little bit more secure. So and I will try to link the video where I show how to make one of these journals. So I've got to decide now how large to do this, and I do quite like the idea of the pages sticking out, but they do kind of need to not stick out to the bottom, because otherwise it won't stand very well when you put it on your shelf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip these different heights. Or am I going to, I don't know what to do really. I quite like the idea of having it like that. but it's not very practical. So yeah, let's rip these different heights and see what they look like. Everything Art is passionate about offering maximum learning and inspiration for minimum cost. The full Wonderlust 2026 course is usually priced at $199 for a single payment, or you can do a payment plan of 3 monthly payments of $63.33, and I'm sure they've actually come up with a 6 monthly payment as well since I recorded this. That works out to be about the cost of a takeaway coffee a week for an entire year of creativity, community and personal growth. Right now, there's a special promotion running. Until the 8th of December, and it finishes at 1 p.m. UK time, you can get 40% off Wonderlust 2026 using the discount code HAPPY40. That brings the price down significantly. All of their other courses will also be available with a 40% discount during this period, but Wonderlust is really the star of the show. You'll find links to the information in my description box. This is an incredible opportunity to invest in your creativity for the entire year ahead. Whether you're looking to practice self-care through joyful, expressive art, expand your knowledge about art techniques and supplies, find an outlet to express yourself with zero judgment, connect with mixed media teachers and engage with like-minded creatives, or build your own personal style and create art that feels good, Wonderlust is for you. The course officially starts on the 2nd of January, but this is a pre-sale and there's already plenty in the classroom for early birds to dive in. You'll find introductory lessons from Kasia, plus 17 super bonuses from the teachers to help you get inspired and ready for the course. You'll find all the links in the description box below. The Everything Art website, the K December sign-up page, the Wonderlust 2026 enrolment page and the Aquabox fundraiser if you'd like to contribute. Remember, the discount code is HAPPY40 and it's valid from now until the 8th of December at 1 p.m. UK time. I genuinely believe this is going to transform my creative practice and I hope some of you will join me on this journey. Let's make 2026 a year of creativity, growth and joy together. There's also a beautiful charitable element to Care December. While the course is completely free, Everything Art are raising funds for Aquabox, a charity that provides safe drinking water and humanitarian aid to people affected by natural disasters, extreme weather and conflicts. A single Aquabox family filter can convert up to 500,000 litres of polluted water into safe, clean water. Whatever you contribute counts, even if it's just a couple of pounds or a couple of dollars. And if you can't contribute this year, that's absolutely fine too. Just join in and share the fundraiser with others. So if you wanted to make this a no-sew journal, what you could do is you could glue that page in and then glue the last page in, or you could stick it down with tape. I prefer to stitch it in because I think it'll give a better finish and I'm hoping that it will sit better, but that is certainly an option with this. This is an example of a no-sew journal, and what I've done is I have stuck the front page onto that piece of card there, and then I've covered it up with this, which makes it more sturdy, and I've also created a pocket. Now I will try and find the video that I made this journal, but it's certainly a nice way of making journals. It's really quite different. And as I said, you can just keep on adding pages as you go along. And again, so the last page here is again stuck inside this piece. And then that creates a nice little pocket on the end there. And when you work in it, it's completely flat. So I think it's great. Really is great. Great fun to work with. Okay, I'm going to stitch this in. And I'm not going to do any measuring. I'm just going to put my hole in. I'll put my holes in, I should say. And hope for the best. And I will clip it. There. Okay, so that looks about right there. Let's do a little bit higher. And let's see, by eye, which isn't great. I don't really actually want, no, I think I might actually measure, you know. I think I may. So the easiest way to do this is to get a piece of paper and mark it with the size of the spine. So I've got a piece of paper here. Let's cut it to size. Okay, so I'll just go there. Okay, so this is now the size of my spine. So I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I'm going to then fold this again in half. And I'm going to fold it again in half, which then should give me 3 equal lines on the page. So my holes, so this works really well for one signature. If you had 2 or 3 signatures, then you would need to measure either side. But I'm going to pop a hole there, and a hole there, and a hole there. Now, depending on where I put this in the signature, I may not get it right top and bottom, but at least the stitching will be equal in distance. So I'll just line that up with the bottom there. Pop my holes in. Okay, so that's that. Leave that in there for a second because I always forget to thread my needle. So I'm going to measure just 2.5. I don't want any left over, so I'm not going to do any dangles or anything. So I can pop that in there and then take that out. Hold the tail. Oops, I need to remember to take my template out. I hear you scream. Just open this up a bit just to see where it's coming through. There we go. And then go to the edge there, and then try and find the middle. There we go. And let's make this a little bit more equal. So it's quite a small distance between there and there, but it is quite a small book. So I folded it one way, then I'm going to fold it the opposite way, and I think 2 knots should be just fine for this. Trim that off. And there we have our spine. Now it's not quite in the middle there, I'd say, just a little bit off, but absolutely fine. If you stitch and you ruin your spine and you really can't cope with it not looking right, you can always cover the spine. Do not despair. There is always a way of fixing your happy mistakes. Before I finish up today, what I want to do is glue one of the pages together in the front so that it'll give it a bit more structure. I'm not missing too much there, so I think that'll be fine. And I'm also going to glue this page to the back. And that's what you would normally be doing if you didn't want to sew in your signature block. You would just glue the front of the first page and the front of the back stage onto your cover. So it makes it a lot easier then. But of course I don't do easy. Don't be silly. Of course I don't. So I like to make a meal of it and make things difficult and have to make lots of happy mistakes to learn how to do something. But I reckon that's okay, especially when it comes to being creative. So I'm just going to glue this. I didn't want to cover this page because you've got some lovely writing on there that I want to try and incorporate. Now, I don't know why I'm trying to cut this slither of paper off, but, well, you know. We all have our foibles. Okay, so I'm sure that as this sort of moves back and forth, it'll bed in a bit easier. And let's do this as well. So I think it's a great idea, if you're always using book pages, is just to grab a load of books and make up some signatures. And then what you can do is when you're ready to make a journal, you then just insert your patterned or your plain tea-dyed, coffee-dyed papers in between the journal, the book pages, because most of us use the same kind of book pages in our journals. So you might as well make them up in advance. Because I hate the thought of digging out all my books and trying to find the right pages. Kind of puts me off starting, really. So it's just one of the barriers you can break down ahead of time. So that looks much better. I think that it's stuck on there. It needs to dry before you put any mixed media on it. So I hope you enjoyed this very simple tutorial on making a art junk journal. And if there's any questions that you've got about K December or about Wonderlust 2026, please do leave some comments in the comment boxes below, and I will try and answer as best as I can, or I'll put you in the right direction where you can find the answers. But hopefully, I'm really hoping that someone is going to join me on this journey in December. I'm going to need all the help I can get, just to be creative, because you know how stressful December is. But maybe with a little bit of creativity that's not got any pressure to it, it'll turn out to be a lovely December. So I hope to see you in a few days joining me. But until then, I shall say goodbye and see you soon. Bye-bye for now.